So I finally got my arse out of bed, and first job I'm going to do is I'm going to nip down the paint shop because we've got to get some paint for this here Merc. Should be really concentrating on the van, but I'm going to get back onto that later. We are at Cars, just going to pick up some paint. Well, that's it, got the paint. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to get home and start work on the van really, because we've got a big trip planned, and I really need to crack on with the servicing of it. So let's get home and get on with the servicing. So it's only got 16,000 miles on this van, and it doesn't really need a service, but it's going to get one. We're going on some epic road trip again this summer. Got all the bits in the garage. So I've got my pollen filter, I've got a fuel filter, and I've got an air filter, and somewhere, when I find it, I've got an oil filter as well. When I find it, oil filter. So I'm warming the van up, got all my bits ready. What I need to do is get the oil out and then set about changing all the filters. So first job, servicing the Volkswagen T6. Get a little bit of ground clearance and get the oil out. For that you're going to need the 19mm socket, and then get underneath and get oily. And of course you're going to need a tray to put it into. So there's the 19mm nut. Drain the oil. Should just be a case of undoing the nut, removing it and catching the oil. We're just going to jump back up the top, let that do its thing, and then start removing the air filter. So now I want to remove the air filter, so I'll probably take this one off. So I need to press these clips in and pull them up like that. And do a couple of clips which are on the air filter box itself. One there, got one at the back. Right, so that's the air box out of the way. Did try and leave it in place, but it's clearly easier to get it right out of the way, and then what I can do is I can get the air line, I can blow the whole box out then. Don't look too bad. Right, so what I like to do is blow the air box out, make sure you cover the intake hole up, and then just blow any dust out, and then we're ready for our new air filter. So we've got our air filter. Right, so that's the air filter done. Right, so now we need to do the oil filter. Now I'm going to get the oil filter out. There we go. So, what you're meant to do on the oil filter, you're actually meant to remove the nut from the bottom, so you can drain the oil out the actual filter housing before undoing the nut and getting it everywhere like I do. But nevertheless, we got it out. We'll clean it all up. So just going to get the oil filter in there now. That's exactly what that little O-ring's for. So you take that out in the bottom there, replace that, but I'm not going to bother because I haven't even undone it, so I shall leave that in there, but I'll change the other O-ring. And that is it. ready to be put back in and torqued up. Always like to give this a nice clean round there. So let's just pop that oil filter in. Literally just pushes up into the side there and do the nut up and then torque it up. And it's meant to be torqued up to 25 Newton meters. And there you go. That's that done. Now for a little clean up. Right, so I need to disconnect the battery because I'm going to be working around some of this. So I'm going to disconnect the battery, and I think I'm going to have to remove some of this to get to the fuel filter. Probably have to dislodge this as well and move that out of the way a little bit. I've got a Bosch fuel filter. I'm going to try and get that back in the hole and see if we can drop this in, and then we're going to fill it with diesel, I think, when it's in there. Right, that's that back in place. Didn't need to undo that at all. So what we need to do now is get this filter filled up and then put our pipes on. Let's organise that. I've got my little setup there. So what I've got is a little bit of hose and a funnel. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get some diesel. I'm going to put it in through the funnel, fill it up, and hopefully it'll come out the other hole. If not, we'll probably just end up making a mess. And but one way or the other, we'll get it filled up, and then we'll get this van started. Oh. Hey, there she goes. Put the pipes back on. Make sure they click. There we go. They're both back on nice. We just put it right together if we can. Actually looking for the keys. Top the oil up. That's all good. So it's all back together. And then we're going to give it a start up. Connected all that. That's all back together. Still missing that little clip there. If anyone knows the number for that, let me know. So every time I've asked them to find it, they can't find it. Give me the wrong clip. But anyway, this all sorted. Caps back on, air filters in, oil filters done and torqued. So is the sump plug. So I think we're ready to go. Fingers crossed. Took a bit longer than usual. Got to reset the lights. Leave it running for a few minutes. Recheck the oil. So I'm losing concentration here, guys. The wind started blowing, and all I can think about at the moment is going to the beach. Beautiful day here. Not really the day to be working on your van, but I've got to do it. I've got to have a go at getting this pollen filter out now. So I've got to take these three out along here. So there's one more over here. That's that one. So three along the bottom, and then these four along the top. Here's the other ones there. Got two out, got two more to do. Should have a gun out for this really. Wasn't very prepared. I think it's the wind. The wind's causing me to lose concentration. That's what I'm blaming it on. So we'll leave that in place. No point unplugging that, and if you do unplug that, you should always disconnect the battery, being the airbag circuit as well. If you leave that connected and disconnect that and then turn the ignition on, your airbag light will be on. Little tip for you. There we go. Under the dash here, pollen filter's located in here. There's a 5.5mm nut that I'm going to have a go at undoing and get this pollen filter out. This is going to be interesting, putting the new one back in, I've got to say. There it is. It's really awkward. Oh, it's disgusting. Look at that. Put a state in it. Sorts of little cretins. Probably come from Spain, that lot. So when you put the filter in, if you've taken the other filter out and you leave it in the same way it was when you pulled it out, we've got our new filter there, as you can see. We've got our arrows pointing in the right way, so we've got the right direction for the airflow. So let's get this back in there. Up she goes. There we go. Not too bad at all, that actually. Put our little cover back on. There we go. That's where it needs to be. Right, throw these bits of trim on, and then that's it. I've got to put this back. That's it. Put the glove box back in. Okay, that's it. Glove box is in finally. Oh, apart from this bit on the end here. And that's it. Back together. Right, all we've got to do is reset the dashboard lights in. Right guys, so just need to get the last bit of the servicing finished off. It's actually the next day here. I was a bit busy yesterday, so I didn't get it finished off. But I know that the service lights are coming up on the van, so I thought I'd just go through and we can reset them. So I believe it's got the service light and the inspection light up. So ignition in. I think what we've got to do is we've got to turn the ignition on whilst press and hold the set button. So we'll do that now. Press that in. Right. Now we've got that menu up there. I believe we can press OK. So we press the OK on the bottom of the stalk there. That's service reset. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to turn the inspection light off also. So we'll turn the ignition back off. And this is always, I find this quite a strange one. how they come up with these things, Volkswagen. But anyway, for this one, we need to turn on the hazard lights, which is a bizarre thing to do. And then we have to do the same procedure. So we need to hold the set button and turn the ignition on. Hold it. Okay. Do you really want to reset the inspection now? So of course we do. So click OK, and so that's the service reset. We can then turn our hazard lights off and switch our ignition off. And I believe when we start up again, there we go. So that is resetting the service lights, and obviously I've finished the service now, so If you did enjoy this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciating all the support I've got on the channel. And I'm going to be getting ready for an epic road trip, so the next video I'm going to be flushing out the water tank, and we're going to be sterilising the water tank and all the water pipes, so stick around for that one. But as of right now, I'm going to get out of the van because it's probably one of the hottest days of the year, and I'm going to go and get myself a cool drink. But I'll be starting the water tank flushing later on, so see you guys on that one. See you soon.